guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, Tom, Cheryl, it's January, so you know what that means, right? The excitement of the holidays is over, which
No.
Quincy,
Yes.
humbug. Come
Yeah.
on.
But we're settling into a long stretch of winter. It means it's going to get cold. Cheryl, do you think your cats get the winter blahs like myself?
Oh man, my cats, so they're all indoor. They are lucky. They are spoiled. They're by the fire. They're in my lap cuddling. So, no, I think they love winter. However, Nina Thompson with the San Diego Humane Society has some thoughts on how we can help our four-legged friends who are outside throughout the cold season. So, welcome to Main Street Living. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So it's winter out there, and in some parts of the country, it has been downright frigid. And we humans, of course, bundle up in sweaters and cozy socks and blankets. But what kinds of things should we keep in mind to make sure our furry friends are comfortable when it's cold outside? Because obviously, we always say bring them in if you can. But if they're outside, what can we do?
Well, the bottom line is if you're cold, the likelihood of an animal being cold is very high. So pets should not be outdoors when it's too cold outside. It is not a good idea to leave any dog or cat outside when the conditions are freezing. For livestock and horses, they need somewhere to shelter too. They also get cold. They can get frostbite. They can have their fur frozen. If their water is frozen over, they're not having access to water and food, which they need for their energy when it is cold outside. So bottom line, if you're cold, your pets and your animals are cold too. But make sure if you have to have them outside, make sure you have somewhere sheltered where they can go. Livestock need extra heat. They may need blankets, extra water, extra feed. For pets, they need somewhere warm, somewhere where it's not raining, it's not snowing. So bottom line is to bring your pets indoors when it's too cold to be outside.
Nina, is there things you could do for animals that aren't your pets or livestock, for the wildlife that is out in your neighborhood?
Absolutely. So for wildlife, some of them like to hide under the hood of our car because that is if you park your car and the engine is hot, they may actually hang out there to get some warmth. So before you take your car, anytime it's been cold, make sure you kind of bang on the hood and, kick the tires a little bit to scare them away and give them some time. Sometimes kittens and other animals hide in there too. So that's a very good tip. Also for wildlife, birds, if their seeds and berries are frozen, you can buy seeds to provide for the bird life. Just make sure that it's safe. It's not bred, which is actually dangerous for birds. So just make sure that you're getting them the right feed. But yes, you can help. And same thing with water. If water is frozen everywhere, then it's hard for animals to find a water source. So if you can help and provide a water source that doesn't freeze, or you can monitor it and make sure it doesn't freeze, that's helpful for wildlife as well. One thing to note, though, is if you don't want wildlife in your backyard, for example, coyotes or other wildlife that tend to scare bears, if you live in an area where there's bears, then don't put food out, because then you're confusing them. And so then they're going to come and visit you. So make sure you're putting food out in the right location so that you don't get unwanted visitors as well.
See, I wish I lived in an area where I had all of these animals, because I'm like, what is it, Snow White with all the animals around. That's me. I would love that. And winter, obviously, after that is spring. And spring, we know, is a busy time for animal shelters all across the country. They start reproducing, and I know that you're gearing up for that. So what are some ways that people can help?
Baby season is huge for us in San Diego. We have more than 250 native wild animal species here. So our Project Wildlife program at San Diego Humane Society gets very busy during spring season. And really what you can do at home is to make sure that you're not trimming trees. If you can avoid raking the leaves and cleaning up the dead flowers, they actually find space there to hide and nest. And then also, if you're able to support our organization, San Diego Humane Society's Project Wildlife takes in about 13,000 orphaned and injured wild animals every single year. And baby season during that time, which is kind of starting in mid-February, we can have more than 200 animals in care at any one time. So if you're able to support us, we're going to have a baby shower where we have a wish list of supplies that are needed. And it's basically everything from heating pads to blankets to seeds to crates to cotton, paper towels, anything. So there are a lot of things you can do at home to support wildlife in your own way.
Another way to support not only wildlife, but really to support the pets that are overflowing right now. Most shelters are in desperate need to find homes, but there's a different way of finding homes. It's fostering a pet. Could you explain a little bit about fostering?
Fostering is a huge help to shelters. It is when you open your home temporarily to an animal. It could be for 2 weeks. It could be for a month. It could be until that animal is adopted. It's a temporary stay to give that animal relief from the shelter, but it also frees up space inside the shelter, which is probably very stressed no matter what your location is right now. At San Diego Humane Society, we're asking the community to help with fostering, especially dogs. We have so many adult dogs. Back in December, on December 20th, we hit an all-time record with 606 dogs in care, which is just an astonishing number. So if any community member can open up their home temporarily, even if it's just for 2 weeks, to provide that relief, A, for the pet, because it's better for the pet to be in a home environment than to be in a shelter, but B, also to provide much needed space for other animals who need us, who have nowhere to turn.
You are all angels by helping these animals, and anyone who welcomes an animal into their home, in my mind, is also an angel. So we want to get involved. What kinds of opportunities are there for volunteering at not only the San Diego Humane Society, but other animal shelters across the country? What else can people do if they're not able to necessarily adopt or foster a new pet right now?
Absolutely. I mean, you can if you can't foster, but you can spare a few hours in your week and you can volunteer at a shelter, I would try to connect with your local shelter to ask what you can do. At San Diego Humane Society, we're asking for volunteers for every type of animals that we have. So it could be your most common dog walker, cat socializer, but also wildlife, and there's so many different ways you can help. Anything from feeding to cleaning kennels to walking to just keeping company. But if you can't volunteer or foster or adopt, you can also help animal shelters if you find a stray animal to try to relocate their owner on your own. If you can just hang on to that animal for a few extra hours as opposed to just bringing the pet to the shelter right away, you're very likely to find their owner because oftentimes they're not far away. So if you find a stray pet, post about that pet on your social media platform. If you're part of a Facebook neighborhood group or a next door type of neighborhood group, post there and say that you have the pet. And pet owners, make sure that your pets are identified, that they have a microchip if it's a dog or a cat or a rabbit, and even turtles and tortoises, and the tag, right? The tag with your phone number, because that is the quickest way. And if you don't have a tag, write your phone number with a Sharpie on their collar, either on the outside or the inside. The phone number does such a huge help.
Speaking of phone numbers, Nina, what is the number that they can use to contact you and find out more information and become an angel for the
website? Yes.
Yeah. If you want to contact us, all of our information is on our website, sdhumane.org. You can call us. The phone number is there. It's 619-299-7012. But all of the information on our website at sdhumane.org.
Nina, thank you. And thanks to all the angels out there providing a little comfort and aid to the animals that we love. Thank you so much.
Thanks
Up
for having
next, we have over-the-top treats.
Ooh, sign me up.